Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faris Najimi bin Fauzi. So, my prototype is wind turbine. So, I will present about the wind turbine to you. So, this is my group prototype. We can see have a wind turbine, we have a geothermal, we have ocean, and we have a dam, and we have a nuclear. So, my turn is for present about the wind turbine. Okay, so what is the renewable energy? So, renewable energy is the source such as solar and wind that we cannot be replaced. Okay, this energy should last forever even if we keep using it. So, we can use for many long years and this cannot be replaced. So, this wind turbine can use the wind energy to generate the electricity, and wind turbine use a large blade to capture the kinetic energy of the wind. So we can see at the turbine, at the wind turbine, we can see the blade. So the blade is function to capture the kinetic energy and will go to the generator inside the wind turbine. Okay, next, wind turbine do not produce polluting waste, but it could kill the migration birds and it sound very noisy. They not have a polluting waste, but can kill the migrating bird, this is because the wind turbine is tall, higher, and then when the birds fly away, so that will possibility to die when the blade have swing. And then the noisy is because the blade is swing because the wind swing it, so that will make a noisy sounds. Okay, lastly, okay, wind turbine we use in open area and we put at the side at the sea. Like example, in Netherlands, they use the wind turbine to produce their energy for their country. So I will explain about the wind turbine and their function. Okay, next is the part of the wind turbine. Firstly, this is the wind turbine, and in front of this has a rotor hub, and then a meter have inside or outside the box behind the wind turbine heads. And then tower have two part. Firstly is a tower, and then footing, which is basement. So that will strong here to make sure the wind cannot broken. So at over here has transformers that will produce to convert or generate the electricity. Okay, for a anemometer inside this, this is function for measure wind speeds and the wind pressure. This is useful for the meteorologists to find the pattern of the winds in the world. Okay, before this I had explained about the outside part of the wind turbine. So next I will explain inside the wind turbine in the rotor blade. So in the box behind the wind turbines or the rotor blades that have low speed shaft, we have gearbox, have generator, control electronic, and then have a rotor brake, and lastly have high speed shaft. Okay, for the gearbox, I will show the picture. Based on the picture, the gearbox is make electricity by converting mechanical energy into the electrical energy. So when the generator shaft rotating, and then the gearbox also rotating, that will produce the electrical energy from the mechanical energy. The mechanical energy is things that the gearbox rotary have rotates, and then it rotates the gearbox also. Rotate the generator also. Okay, lastly, I will present or I will tell the electricity from the wind turbine process. So firstly, on the slide we can see that have a turbine generates the electricity, and then it converts to the DC input to the AC output. Okay, next step is a meter measure the electric that produce. Okay, next is meter measure the electric to export to the national grid or the tower that we have see in our country have besides the road. And then finally we can use it to our homes, to our buildings, to our school, and more things we can use. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Sufi Hamdul from the H5A. Today I will present wave energy, that also known as ocean energy. Wave energy is the transport and capture of energy by ocean surface wave. The energy captured is then used for all different kind of useful work, include electric generation, water desalination, and pumping of the water. Wave energy is also a type of renewable energy of water. Wave energy is also a type of renewable energy and is the largest estimated global resource from the ocean energy. Move in a perpendicular motion, catching the wave energy which drive linear generator for producing electricity. There are different examples of point absorbed, but the well-known one is the ocean power technology that called power buoy. Power buoy can act as an uninterruptible power supply that called UPS, which constantly recharge itself by harvesting energy from the wave. Power buoy can capture the energy by being placed perpendicular to the length of the wave. This causes the antennator to constantly flex where segments are connected. This connection is connected to hydraulic pump which convert the energy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adam and I will be presenting about the next energy that we have created our model, which is solar panel. So solar power works by converting light from sunlight into electricity. Then this electricity can be used at home. Before this electricity can be used, the solar power will be converted into AC power, which is alternate current electricity. The alternating current will be transformed, which is on the side of the home, which is also work as battery to store electricity. So this inverter is able to convert DC electric into AC electric, iaitu alternating current electricity, which can be used at home. From here, you can see the AC electric is direct to switchboard, which control all of the light in the home or facilities that using solar panel. This switchboard allow your usable AC electricity be sent to appliances in your home, which is your lamp, your fan, aircon, and so more. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, and to our lecture is from Bajwa. Okay, my name is Ahmad Aziz Muhammad Zani. Okay, I want to explain about a prototype in grid energy. The task we are given to do an explanation about renewable energy. So my part is about hydroelectric energy and biomass energy. So firstly, I want to explain about hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectric is from the hydropower is using water to give electric supply to house and factory. Example Indonesia is where dam Semenyih dengan dam Kelanggek. So the next one energy is biomass energy. So biomass energy is a plant or animal or used as a fuel to produce electricity or heat. So biomass energy ni menggunakan tenaga dari sisa maybe dari sisa plant ataupun sisa buangan. Contoh yang example in Malaysia is from the kelapa sawit, antara penyumbang terbesar dalam ekonomi Malaysia. So itu saja yang energi yang saya akan explain. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Zulaikan Najwa binti Abdul Majid. So I will explain about nuclear power plant. A nuclear power plant is a thermal power station in which the heat source is a nuclear reactor. As is typical of thermal power station, heat is used to generate steam that drives a steam turbine connected to a steam turbine connected to a generator that produce electricity. Nuclear plants are usually considered to be base load stations since fuel is a small part of the cost of production and because they cannot easily or quickly dispatch. Their operation, maintenance and fuel costs are at the low end of the spectrum, making them suitable as base load power suppliers. However, the cost of proper long-term radioactive waste storage is uncertain. So, a cooling tower is a heat rejection device that rejects waste heat to the atmosphere through the cooling of a water stream to a lower temperature. Cooling towers may either use the evaporation of water to remove processed heat and cool the working fluid to near the wet bulb air temperature, or in the case of closed-circuit dry cooling towers, rely solely on air to cool the working fluid to the near the dry bulb air temperature. So, a surface condenser is commonly used term for a water-cooled shaft and tube heat exchanger installed to condense exhaust steam for a steam turbine in thermal power station. These condensers are heat exchangers which convert steam for its gaseous to its liquid state at a pressure below atmospheric pressure. Where cooling water is a short supply, an air-cooled condenser is often used. An air-cooled condenser is, however, significantly more expensive and cannot achieve as low as steam turbine exhaust pressure. The steam turbine is a form of heat engine that derives much of its improvement in thermodynamic efficiency from the use of multiply stage in the expansion of the steam, which result is closer approach to the ideal reversible expansion process. Because the turbine generates rotary motion, it is particularly suited to be used to drive an electrical generator. Lastly, a heat exchanger is a system used to transfer heat between two or more fluids. Heat exchangers are used in both cooling and heating process. The fluid may be separated by a solid wall to prevent mixing, or they may be in direct contact. They are widely used in space heating, refrigeration, air conditioning, power station, chemical plants, petrochemical plants, petroleum refineries, natural gas processing and sewage treatment.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Farid Alif from DLH5A. For today's video, I will present a prototype of renewable energy for green technology subject. My renewable energy that I choose is geothermal energy. Okay, geothermal energy is energy generated from heat that come from inside the earth. Usually heat from within the earth is flowed almost to the surface by hot spring. In addition to hot spring, other medium that generate heat from within the earth are other hydrothermal reservoir, geopressure brines, hot dry rock, and magma. But medium other than this hot spring require high technology to extract thermal energy. The use of geothermal energy can be divided into two, namely, the first one is electricity generation. The minimum required geothermal temperature is 125 Celsius. Steam generated in high pressure condition is able to move the electricity generation system. And then the second one is direct heating. 35 Celsius is possible. On average, the temperature increased by 25 Celsius for every 1 kilometer deep. So if the temperature of the Earth's surface is 30 Celsius at the depth of 5 kilometer, you can get a temperature of 155 Celsius. And that's it from me, Muhammad Farid. Thank you for watching.